said the hip hop, the hip hop, you don't stop. Rock it out, baby, bubble to the boogity bang bang, the boogie to the boogity beat. Now what you hear is
Welcome to episode 2 of the Stutter Brothers. My name is Joe Sorrow. Next to me, I got K-Sauce, the boss, Zach Comer, and making his special guest appearance. Next to me, I have the one and only Chris Schmidt.
Big dog in the house.
So today we got a couple nice segments to talk about. But first, Zach, Chris, how was your weekend?
It was a weekend.
It definitely was.
Went out to Fredtown.
Sunny Fredonia.
Partied like I was 21 again.
Yeah?
Those were the days.
Yeah?
I'm getting too old for this stuff.
Yeah. It was nice seeing some familiar faces, but
Yeah?
yeah.
Meet any nice ladies?
In my dreams.
And if we're talking about if you want to call a toilet a nice lady, then I guess so.
Very true. Very true.
Well, I guess the one thing you could be happy about, Zach, is your boy Sean Marks got a job.
He's not with the Spurs anymore, so that's not the best thing in the world.
So just to sum it up, Sean Marks was hired as the general manager of the Brooklyn Nets, who aren't having as good of a season as they would have hoped. Zach, what are your thoughts on it?
In my eyes, I really don't understand why anyone would want to go to that team. Its future isn't in the right direction. In my opinion, he signed a four-year contract for around $9 million. But the best thing out of it is that the Nets gained a very, very smart GM. The main thing that you look for with a GM is playing is
Stutter Brothers.
Okay.
Dude.
Today, Junior.
I don't know where I'm going. I lost it.
I think it's good for them to get someone from the Spurs organization, which has just been a winning organization for so long. You have one of those types of organizations in every sport. You have Detroit in hockey, you have New England in football, and then you have San Antonio in basketball. And all those teams, if you can pluck anyone from that organization, it's going to turn out pretty good.
Yeah, Sean Marks, he's a pretty intelligent guy. He served as the assistant coach in the Spurs for their 2014 NBA championship team, and served as the team's director of basketball operations and the general manager of the Spurs D-League team. So, he definitely has the experience, but I just don't see the reasoning why he would take this job. Their only upside in Brooklyn is really Thaddeus Young, and I guess Brook Lopez is having pretty career year this year. But he's going to an organization 3 hours before the deadline without a first round pick. I don't really understand. I don't really know what exactly the Nets are looking for. Are really looking for him to do on this such short notice. I don't know. Yeah,
Like you said, the only really players that they have is Thad Young and Brook Lopez, but they do have some young talent with Hollis Jefferson being 21 years old, Shane Larkin, 23, my man Chris McCullough from Syracuse, 21. So if you give up these players for some picks in the near future, you might be able to make a run at it. I'm not really sure, but he definitely has a good head on his shoulder, playing 12 seasons in the NBA. So he definitely does know how the game is played and the off court issues.
yes I cry, return of the man, return of the man, come on, return of the man, oh my God, you know that I've been there. Here I am, return of the man, once again, return of the man, top of the world, return of the man, watch my flow, you know that I've been there. Here I go, so I'm back up in the game, running things to take my swing.
Byron Scott, guys. He's faced some criticism throughout this entire season. Even from his young rookies, he's faced some criticism, but he's also he's had some praise from Kobe Bryant in his farewell tour. What are your guys' thoughts on him?
So I don't think he's a bad coach altogether. He just needs some talent around him. I mean, D'Angelo Russell is talent, but not yet. Byron Scott is a good coach with the established talent around him, aka Jason Kidd when he made a finals appearance with the Nets. When he was with the Hornets, Chris Paul. He's just, his years in Cleveland, he had a young Kyrie Irving. He's made the playoffs. He's proven he's made the playoffs. Just get some talent around him. I can see him being a good coach. You are coaching for the Los Angeles Lakers, the biggest ego team out there. So that's a task in itself. What do you think?
I think that he was really brought aboard there for one reason, and I think that only reason is because he's not a good coach. He's there for what the Lakers organization wants to do, and that's to tank, to get high draft picks, and build their team for life after Kobe based on all this talent that they're going to acquire in the upcoming drafts, because they're not going to be good anytime soon unless they get that Russell Wilson or Kevin Durant in free agency. So as far as I'm concerned, guy, not a very good coach, and he's doing what he's there to do, which is just kind of fill space for the time being.
Yeah, Byron Scott, I just don't – I have to agree with Schmidt. I just think he's there just to help them tank. There's some of his choices that he's made throughout the season that I question. Like, first of all, it's the Lakers' worst season ever. And then he's only won 24% of his games, and it's just the way he's handling the young guys on the team, not starting D'Angelo Russell and then finally starting Julius Randle. It's just, I just don't see how that approach is going to help him develop these young guys.
Who knows if it's even his choice to leave D'Angelo Russell on the bench, though.
Okay,
that might have been a move from up top saying, hey, he's young, he was our top pick, let's let him develop while we can be bad and then get another top 3 pick this year, build more talent like that.
Yeah, I understand that, but the last thing you want to do for these young guys is have them lose confidence, and then sitting them on the bench is definitely going to make, for me, it would make me lose my confidence if I just sat on the bench throughout the whole game and just came in.
He's not creating the winning atmosphere that is needed for these young minds coming into the league right away.
He quote sat D'Angelo Russell because he said that he tried to take over the game. Now, as a second overall pick, don't you want that kind of player to do that and gain confidence like that?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
If it's in the right way, point guards should. The point guards definitely do have the ability to take over a game. You see Russell Westbrook and all of them who take over the game. It might be like a personal vendetta. You never know with Byron. Yeah.
You about to feel the chronicles of a bionicle lyrically spitting, dismissing. I'm on a mission and just hitting. Now it's written and kitten, hitting with mittens. I'm missing, wishing, man, listen. I glisten like sun and water while fishing. Bust the move in this word. Serve words with nerve embedded. I said it word, damn you nerd, man, you heard. Coming from the town of Illy and alleys are full of Phillies and rallies. Suckers get silly and Sally. Them found alleys and rally. Really? So here we go. Now holla if you hear me though. Come and feel me. Flow. Never Nixon with tricking brothers, bitching over fixins that ain't fitting to be hitting for nothing. Spitting things is bitten and getting written off. You're like a bad platter, boy, you're pissing me off. Boy, you even started, so what, so long, see you fly by my try. How else could I say it when you play it? Try boom, bye. Here we go, now holla if you hear me, oh, come and feel me flow. Here we go, now holla if you hear me, oh, come and feel me flow.
All right, underrated players, guys. There's a ton of them this year. A ton of up-and-coming young stars. So I want to get at least 1 or 2 of your most underrated players this season.
Word.
For me, you got to go Damian Lillard. This guy's some people might not call him underrated, but this guy was an all-star snub. He's pretty much like everyone's saying that this guy isn't an all-star just because he plays for a small market in Portland. He's coming off extreme as of late. I mean, he scored 20-plus points in... shit. That's not it. Fuck. Hang on, guys. He scored 50-plus points, 7-plus assists, and 6-plus steals in a game since steals became a stat in 1973. He's become the first player with 50-plus points, 7-plus steals since Reggie Miller, of course. And then also, he's had 9 3-point field goals and represents a new career high for him. I just don't understand why people could say he's underrated. I mean,
would you say he's top 5 point guard in the league?
Yes, I would. And I'm gonna make a bold statement right here. I would take him over Russell Westbrook.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
I
That's almost sacrilegious.
I think he is that good. He spreads the ball on the floor so well. It's just and just especially with him with CJ McCollum back there. He just works so well together, and I think just in the upcoming years, I think this could possibly be the best backcourt.
Better than Westbrook, though.
Yes, I think he's better.
That's
than
heavy.
Westbrook.
All right, so top 5 now. Go.
All right, top 5 point
guards.
guards.
Yeah. Where does he rank on your all time? Not like all time, but like right now.
This year, he's definitely top 5 for me. Definitely in top 5.
Where in top 5?
At least 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have Russell Westbrook not even in your top 3 point guards? I mean, I hate the guy. I think he's a complete jackass,
selfish. I think he's selfish. I think he doesn't move the ball.
I do too.
I think,
but he's still good.
I know he's good, but I mean, he's coming from a team whose starters play 30-plus minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if Damian Lillard had 35-plus minutes every single game,
he's better than John Wall.
Who? Lillard?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I drafted Westbrook first round in fantasy basketball. I don't know if that plays a factor, but yeah.
I mean, everyone had Westbrook going first overall, pretty much. But
all right, Chris.
Sticking with the point guard theme, I'm gonna pick someone who I think isn't as good as Russell Westbrook, but he's better than Damian Lillard, and that's going to be Isaiah Thomas.
Wow.
Now, I truly believe Isaiah Thomas is going to be the best player in the Atlantic Division. So, really, the top 4 players, 2 of them are coming from Toronto, in DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. Other one, you still got to leave Carmelo Anthony in there. If you combine all 4 of those players and look at their stats, they're all pretty even, except for where you get into assist category, where Isaiah Thomas has 41 more assists than the next person, which is Kyle Lowry.
Wow.
And, at least Lowry and DeRozan can play off each other.
Yeah.
And Carmelo, he plays for a team that sucks. And it's just Carmelo. He's one of the best players to play the game. But Isaiah Thomas, for being as young as he is, the guy's 26-year-old. Him and DeRozan are the same age. And I think that Isaiah Thomas is exciting to watch. If you watch the skills competition, I mean, he just made everything look effortless. The guy's phenomenal, and I think he's underrated in the fact where he's one of the best players in the league. And people haven't noticed it yet because it's Boston's first year of being a good team. But come playoff time, I think people are going to look at him and say, wow, he's good.
You think he's better than Lillard, you said?
Yeah. Not by a lot, but if someone told me, would you rather start a team with Isaiah Thomas or Damian Lillard, I would say Isaiah Thomas.
Lillard is top 5 in points per game and top 5 in assists, right?
I mean, he also is playing with McCollum. At this point, Isaiah Thomas really isn't playing with anyone that you could say is a breakout star. Perfect transition into Zach Iora. Underrated player right here.
All right. Sticking with the point guard theme, but I'm going to go to the bench. My man, Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart, come on.
Marcus Smart.
Why
he's getting 27 minutes a game. He's still putting up 10 points a game. But, see, I'm all about the hustle. I'm all about hand-checking people 94 feet out from the basket. It's like that guy playing rec ball who D's you up, who presses after 2 points. Like, it's going to be that type of game. Yeah, that's Marcus Smart. I mean, you saw his days in college with Oklahoma State in that fight he got in with a fan, and it's just like the tenacity and what he brings to the Celtics, and it's not even the fact that Marcus Smart is slept on. I think the whole Celtics are slept on, and that going back to Damian though, is it him that is the underrated player, or is it just Portland as a whole team that's underrated? Because going into the season, no one was really looking at Portland to make a playoff push, and I think they're in the 8th spot right now.
Are they I think they're 2 games below 500 or something.
Yeah,
like that, right?
They're 6th in the West. In the West, guys.
The West, yeah.
Western Conference.
You got Russell Westbrook D'ing him up. You got Kawhi D'ing Damian Lillard up, and they're 6th in the West.
This team was supposed to be a dumpster fire this year, Portland.
But the West is also a little bit different this year because typically the 8th team in the West is the 4th, 5th best team in the East. It's not like that this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's really even. It's a lot more even this year. So I think that if it was last year, I think you would see Portland 13th in the conference. But there's a lot more parity in the league this year. It's a good thing, and it allows us to back from LeBron, uncontested best player in the league. Now we're talking about guys who.
It's cool. It's nice to see.
Sticking with Portland, I got C.J. McCollum pretty much as my next underrated player.
Why don't you move to Portland, Joe?
I wish I could. I wish I could move to Portland.
Dirty hippie.
Just so I could go to a Portland Trailblazers game. But McCollum, he's averaged over 20 points a game in 54 games this season. That's pretty much the highest of among all NBA players out of the 2013 draft class. So, I just don't see how someone could actually want this guy as their point
coming
guard.
Out of Lehigh.
Exactly.
Lehigh.
And Lillard as their 2 guard. It's just a great combination. I just can't wait to see what this future brings to them in a couple of years.
2 years ago, I haven't watched a lot of Portland since then. But when Lillard hit that 3 buzzer beater in the playoffs
to beat Houston,
that team was fun to watch. Really fun to watch. Their crowd was fun to watch. So I like them. So they're a fun team to watch there too. For another underrated player in the league, I'm gonna stick with my crew, and I'm gonna go with Greg Monroe. This guy came into Milwaukee and immediately became their best player. Sure, Chris Middleton made an appearance at the All-Star game for the skills competition, but I think Greg Monroe right now is far and away their best players. He's one of the best big men in the league, and it wasn't anything that I realized. I knew who Greg Monroe was before he came to Milwaukee, but after seeing him play in Milwaukee, you've got to say, sure, the Pistons have Drummond, but if they had Drummond and Monroe still, they would have.
It'd be filthy.
They would have a really good front court.
Yeah.
But backcourt is the way to build your team now in the NBA. And even as good as Greg Monroe has been, you can't really play going through big men in the league anymore. It doesn't work anymore. All the best teams go through their guards. Even Cleveland. Sure, LeBron is a forward, but he doesn't really play like it half the time. So.
And LeBron's getting to that age where he might be getting the Greg Popovich treatment, where he might sit a game or two, and he might not like for a back-to-back game swing, he might sit that second game. He's just because he's getting to that age, and I agree with you, Chris. Big men aren't as effective anymore as they used to be. Most big men nowadays have to have the versatility of actually making that 3-point shot. Just look at what Anthony Davis did the other day. 59 points.
I think he had 2 3-pointers.
Still,
that's still.
You still need to have range for a big man.
You usually don't see centers even hang out by the 3-point line. So.
And playing into that real quick, you read a tweet earlier. Who was it from?
My man.
This will play perfectly into what we're talking
the
about.
The glove, Gary Payton. All right, he tweeted this the other day. I could never play basketball in this soft era. All of my contract money would go towards fine. LOL. Dropping the LOL on Twitter. I like it. But Gary Payton's completely right. Gary Payton would be shitting on Steph Curry, in my opinion. He'd be Steph Curry would not be Steph Curry right now. But towards the big men, yeah, I mean, the only big man that I could see hang with the 90s big men of Patrick Ewing is Dirk, Tim Duncan, and maybe Anthony Davis. But it's still too early to see with Anthony Davis, really. But, I mean, it's just a completely different style of play. And, I mean, there's pros to cons to that. I mean, we are seeing higher scoring games because it is more of a finesse game nowadays, where we aren't seeing players fall out. Get beat up with injuries and everything. So it definitely, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah, because now, like I said, the best players in the league are all backcourt players. I mean, Anthony Davis is probably really the only player where he's not, you know, any type of guard whatsoever.
Yeah,
that's in the league. That's a top player right now. Back, you know, years ago, it wasn't like that. It was the opposite. So I don't think that the game is.
You see Shaq Daddy.
Yeah.
You see Shaq Daddy doing it to him.
Yeah, and I don't think the game is soft. I think it's just changed. So, you know, I couldn't agree more with that. And I couldn't disagree more with the fact. I mean, Steph Curry would just break his ankles, drain threes in his face all day. No, he sees the guy is so talented.
Gary Payton's a Hall of Fame defender.
Sure he is. But Steph Curry is going to go down as one of the best offensive players to play the game as long as he keeps up what he's doing now. I don't know if he will, but if he does.
Yeah. You think he could be the best three-point shooter of all time?
Possibly. I mean, right now he's taken the conversation away from LeBron versus Jordan. No one's really talking about that anymore.
I'm saying one-on-one right now, I'm taking LeBron over Steph.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Would you take Durant over LeBron?
Yes.
That's preposterous.
You would?
No, man.
No?
Kevin Durant brings that fucking mean streak. That is awesome.
He also brings a lot of injuries.
If you could start a team around one person right now, would it be Steph or Kevin Durant?
KD.
Steph Curry.
KD.
Oh, wow.
More versatility.
Well, I would even say that I would
have to agree with Zach.
I'd pick Russell Westbrook over Kevin Durant just because I'm nervous about Kevin Durant's health going in the future.
He's had one bad injury.
He is,
That's
but
it.
It makes you
I like
nervous.
players who share the ball, and Russell Wilson
Steph
doesn't do
Curry,
that.
if I'm not mistaken, missed almost half a season back in like 2011.
Yeah, when he was irrelevant.
That's still a year. That's still a taxing injury. I mean, Steph Curry. I mean, like any player is one injury away, one career-ending injury away.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is a one rolled ankle away from them not even being mentioned with the 95 Bulls for best record or anything. I mean, like anything could happen, and you can't base the fact off what could happen to what they've proven. You know.
I just don't want to see him go down again with the same injury or anything like that. That's the only thing I'm nervous. If he stays healthy for another year or 2 years, without because it was like a foot injury. Right?
Yeah, something like that.
He's a bigger man,
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows what'll have that the foot injury for any type of large man. It's got to make you a little bit nervous. So I like him more than Westbrook, but I think Westbrook right now is the better player.
Yeah, I mean, staying in the West, I mean, it's looking like it's going to be the most boring first round of the playoffs I've ever seen.
Who would our matchups be?
Here we go. First round will be Golden State versus Houston. Get the friggin' brooms ready for that one. We got San Antonio versus Portland, which is pretty intriguing, but
Of course it's intriguing, right? Of course.
I would take...
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Because you know it's not true.
I think there's a better chance of a sweep in that one than there is in the first one.
San Antonio, Portland?
Yeah.
San Antonio...
I think
you're right.
Portland could sweep. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I think James Harden could steal a game. Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think Damian Lillard
There's
could.
only so much you could do, but Portland, San Antonio, Portland's they're a top 6 defense as well.
Portland?
Yes, they're top 6 defense in the league.
I'm just
saying.
That's
why I think they could stick with San Antonio.
LaMarcus is going to have fun on that Plumlee guy or Myers Leonard. He's just gonna have a party on him.
We also have OKC versus Dallas, which is also a joke as well.
Yeah,
I think
Dallas.
I think Dallas. I don't know.
Honestly, I think Dallas might even slip out of the playoffs. Dallas is looking rough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Utah could sneak in there because I think they're team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
the Jazz are getting hot.
I'm not saying that they're going to win a playoff round, but I think Utah could definitely put up a fight with some of the teams in the West.
Shelvin Mack from the Hawks was big at the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the 4-5 matchup, we got the Clippers versus Memphis. And
That'll
then
be it.
the-
That won't be as good of a game as it would be
With
with
Marcus
Gasol
playing,
being
yeah.
I mean-
they're probably gonna fall too with him being out. The better Gasol brother
Mhm.
being out.
definitely.
Now, who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels got blocks, who's mostly Dolce down to the blue top. The same old pimp, Mase, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my...
All right, Anderson Varejao, guys, was just recently waived by the Trailblazers after being traded from the Cavs to the Trailblazers. Picked up by Golden State Warriors.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was contemplating either going to the Warriors or the Spurs, and he chose the Warriors, which was, I think,
Does
a smarter
anyone know
move.
why Portland waived him? You guys read anything on
No.
this? Because I have a hard
No.
time thinking that they
Well,
wouldn't have a use.
Portland, I was reading stuff about Portland. Their main offensive schemes run through spot ups and pick and rolls. Their big men. I mean, if you look at their big men, it's Plumlee and Leonard and I think Ed Davis. Like they're just not a big men oriented team, and that's why I think they got out of all the Dwight Howard talks. They just don't need a dominating big man to be productive.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Definitely. So then, yeah, back to Varejao. I think the Warriors could definitely use him as their bench depth, even though their bench right now is still
Yeah, they're below average big man depth,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
I mean,
Bogut
yeah.
and Festus.
Yeah, because he'll probably play the same role that David Lee played when he was there,
exactly.
Yeah.
which was he was noticeable in a couple playoff games. He played well.
Yeah, I mean, like Varejao and Bogut. I mean, that's gonna be a great
Yeah,
defense
that's a
combination right there.
nice backup to have. But even a bigger thing than his talents that he brings, he's going to be in Steve Kerr's ear on what the Cavs are doing. He
Mhm.
spent 12 seasons there. He's seen LeBron when he was young LeBron, headband LeBron,
Mhm.
hairline LeBron, as I should say, and what LeBron's doing now. And he's just going to, I mean, they're going to be on his ass about what they're doing because they're only really threatening the East.
Yeah.
So
Why do you think he chose the Warriors over the Spurs?
he wants that ring.
You don't
It's
think?
all about the ice.
So you don't think the Spurs are gonna get that ring?
I'm-
It's your Spurs.
I
These are your
didn't
Spurs.
say that, so those words never came out of my mouth whatsoever. But I don't know. I mean, he's Brazilian. Who knows what he's thinking? You know? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Sticking to his old team, the Cavs, faced off against the Thunder and put a good stomping in OKC. And what were your thoughts from that headline game? Because I was really looking forward to this game, and then I was just let down in the third when
Yeah.
the
I
Cavs
think they're
just
overrated.
Who?
Cavs.
No, not the Cavs. I think Oklahoma City's overrated. I don't.
That's what I
think-
mean. I'm kind of leaning. I mean,
I'm leaning towards that too, because I was just looking at some of their minutes, and like their 5 starters all have. I think there's one that doesn't play over 30 minutes. So
yeah.
so their bench
They
just does
they've
nothing.
had some like bad losses, and it's kind of sad. The Ingrid Williams death, the wife of Monty Williams. That's definitely. I'm not saying that's a huge factor, but I've never been in that situation, but that's definitely a factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I think of teams that could beat Golden State in the West, first team I think of is obviously San Antonio. The next team that I think of is not Oklahoma City, who they're in third. I go right to the Clippers.
Really?
To the
Yeah, that
next
game,
team
it was
that I
115, 112.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that they have a better shot at beating them, and I'm not sold on Oklahoma City just because even though Durant missed last year, the majority of last year, and they fell from the playoffs, I have a hard time thinking a team can go from 9th place, right? They finished in 9th, to
Without Durant for the whole
Possibly.
season, though. It's completely different this year, though.
yeah.
You can't really compare last season and this season. I mean, you can to a certain extent, but
Well, in the extent of beating one of the best sports teams we've ever seen
yeah.
in Golden State, I have a hard time thinking that you can go from out of the playoffs back into the playoffs and knocking them off. I don't see it. I don't see them beating either San Antonio or the Clippers either.
Yeah. But, I mean, Cavs, though, they finally got Kevin Love involved. And that's nice to see.
And you want to know why?
Why?
'Cause Kyrie wasn't in there.
I think Tyronn Lue kind of has a hard on though for Kevin Love. I mean, it's not that he had a hard on. He just realizes his talent.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Love is one handsome man too. So.
I mean, you see that flow. I mean, he's wearing a headband. He's got everything.
I hate the flow. I hate it.
No, Kevin Love, 29 points. Most of it came in the paint too. It's not like he was where under David Blatt he would sit in the corner and kind of let the offense work around him and wait for his chance to score.
Yeah.
Which would mostly be around the 3-point line because the power forwards knew that it wasn't going to him, so they would ease off him. But this last game, I mean, most of it came in the paint. Tyronn Lue is definitely getting Kevin Love involved.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. But, yeah, I think, though, one of the main reasons is the Kyrie illness being out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
the bed
that was
bugs.
all about.
In the hotel.
Yeah, supposedly he was putting down the OKC hotels. But, I mean, besides that, Kevin Love finally got the ball. I mean, between him, Kyrie, and James, I mean, like all three can't get the ball at the same time. So I can see why Love had a hell of a game. I mean,
and he has to learn how to play with two players who are better than him too.
Yeah,
I mean,
better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, it almost seems that they work better when two of the three are on the court rather than all three are working as one. It's kind of like the fact that Westbrook and Durant need the ball in their hands to be productive, where Kyrie, LeBron.
Is there a bird in here? What is that? Oh my goodness.
Schmidt, get your fucking bird clock
Hey,
out
Mom,
of here.
can you put the bird away? Thanks. We're trying to do a podcast.
If it's not one thing, it's the other. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm gonna end this segment on one stat. Durant has lost the last 10 of his 12 meetings against LeBron. That's going back to playoffs too. That's fucking crazy. Yeah.
F-bomb crazy. That's how crazy it is.
All right, guys. Marcus Gasol just Memphis Grizzlies just announced that he just had foot surgery to end the season. Now, I love Marcus Gasol. He's probably like a top 3 player of mine that I'd love. Number 1 is Big Baby Glenn Davis, but
shout out.
Other than that,
that's a name drop right there.
I think Marcus Gasol is going to make a huge impact.
What do you want me to say? Yes, like it does make an impact. His injury.
Like what's their plan? I mean, like, can Mike Conley do it all?
Well, I don't understand. They just traded Courtney Lee. Like Michael Conley kind of has to do it all.
Marcus Gasol is terrific at playing the game of basketball. I'll tell you that right now.
Hot take.
That's a hot take.
Take.
No, but I mean, I think Marcus Gasol is maybe the definitely top 3 big men.
Right now?
Top 3 big, yeah.
All right, go. Top 3.
Probably Anthony Davis and him.
Then who's 3? Dwight?
Come on. Come on.
Maybe Greg Monroe before him.
No, Drummond or Boogie. It's Boogie's top 3.
Yeah, probably him 3, and then 4 is...
I might say Boogie's better than Marcus Gasol.
Whew. Interesting take.
What do you think?
Boogie better than Marcus Gasol?
Yeah.
It's obviously close since
it's
we're...
really
close.
close.
I mean, it's a different game
Marcus
though.
Gasol.
It's a different game where just Boogie Cousins is just a powerhouse and he can power his way to the rim, where Marc Gasol is kind of like that European finesse. You know, he's a better passer.
I view these comparisons as if you were to take Gasol and Cousins and flip them, put them on like a 1-for-1 trade.
Okay.
How do you think the teams would perform? Because I don't think Memphis would be as good with Cousins.
I think the Kings would be good.
Yeah.
With Rondo and Marc Gasol teaming up, that'd be nice.
And I think Cousins. I love watching the Sacramento Kings play.
Yeah, I really don't understand why they're not doing better. I mean, do you think it's George Karl or?
No, even though I do think George Karl doesn't really give a shit about this job. I mean, just because of his legacy right now.
If anything, his legacy's going down for what's happening in Sacramento.
From what Rajon Rondo said, it seems like he's putting down George Karl just because, he makes his morning shoot arounds like optional pretty much, and I just think they were built to be like a 7 or 8 seed team. I think where they're at now is exactly where they should be. I just don't think they had much expectations as like everyone hoped.
They don't have the greatest depth either. Outside of Rondo and Cousins, who's the third best player on their team? And it's not Ben McLemore.
Ben McLemore, I don't think I've seen Ben McLemore make a shot this year.
He isn't
it's just not because I haven't watched the game. I just don't think, like, when I have watched the game, I just haven't seen him play.
Gay's still there, right?
Yeah, he's definitely their third better. Yeah.
And then after their fourth is probably...
Coley Stein's not bad either.
Yeah,
Coley Stein, for a rookie, he's putting in work.
You still have Darren Collison too. I do love my point guards, but I just think he's also a solid player for them. But
Kasipia is also having a great year there too, for being a bench player.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys where if you're talking like underrated like bench players and not going to the
great fantasy pickup.
Yeah, I picked him up in fantasy too. He's been having a really good season for being a bench player. He's been playing great.
You go.
I could definitely. Well, go ahead.
I just quick. I think I saw a stat. Rondo leads the league in assists per game. Like 12 or something, which is kind of cool.
What a comeback for him!
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but the only thing is he doesn't play defense.
Yeah, and he can't make foul shots, and he's very one dimensional. But if I'm going one dimensional for a point guard, I want it to be a facilitator.
Yeah,
I want him to be able to facilitate the ball better than anyone, and he does.
Been one of the best in the league for years at doing that.
Yeah, I think the Kings are the type of team they're gonna try to make a strong impact free agency next year. I think they're going to go after a guy like an Al Horford. I think I don't know where Al Horford's going to go. He's so tough to judge.
He's not, because he's a center that wants to play the 4, and there's not a lot of teams that are really looking for a 4 right now. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
I have serious doubts about anyone on Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah, I was even saying last year. I thought last year was a fluke. They finished first last year, right? Not Cleveland.
In
right?
the East, yeah.
So they beat whoever we were. Brooklyn, right? They beat Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then I never gave them a chance of doing anything, and I still think that team. I can't take anyone on that team for a star, and if you took someone on that team and put them somewhere else to be one of the top 2 best players.
Paul Millsap's nice though.
Yeah,
Paul Millsap gets it. Like Speaking of big men that hit 3-pointers, Paul Millsap. Yeah. Paul Millsap loves a 3. And last year, I think they had 4 All-Stars: Teague, Korver, Millsap, and Horford. And this year, they had one solid one in Millsap, and then Horford got called up because Bosch was out or something. Yeah, like Horford was on vacation in the Cancun.
And they've dropped all the way to 6th.
Yeah, and as of right now, if this playoff started today, they face the Heat playoffs. But I definitely think that they could take down the Heat. But only thing that questions me is Teague's probably not going to be back next year. Could Dennis Schroeder handle? Could Dennis Schroeder take the keys?
He's a good player. Some of the decisions he makes are not on the same level as Teague makes. And that's the difference between being 3 years in longer than Dennis Schroeder. He just knows spacing and everything. It's just, it should be interesting to see.
If you guys had to pick one team in the East that you think could take down Cleveland, who would it be?
My gut says Toronto, but realistically,
if they made a trade,
I really don't see anyone comparing to Cleveland.
Yeah, it's hard. I think Toronto's the only team that would have a shot at it.
Yeah.
But in a 7-game series, I could see them being very successful at home. But on the road, I couldn't see them winning it.
Yeah. Who's big man of Toronto can match up against like Kevin Love and stuff? I mean, like Jonas Valanciunas is nice, but
And even if LeBron decides he wants to play as a big man that game, because he could play any position that he wants to play.
Who's dealing up LeBron on the Raptors? DeMar Carroll's out. No one. DeMar DeRozan can't play that. Like, it's just, it's not a good fit for Toronto against Cleveland.
I really wish that this team would have made a move at the deadline, like a big impact move, because I really think the Celtics could make an impact in the East.
Yeah, they were the other team I was thinking of that could.
I think Brad Stevens is doing an excellent job developing all these players, and if that trade was true about, if that rumor was true that they had a big deal set on the table, and the other team backed out. I mean, if that trade would have went through, I think they could have climbed the ladder in the East.
The main deal that I saw, the Celtics were thinking about giving up the Brooklyn pick for Jahlil Okafor, and that would have been a nice trade. But I guess it went south at the very end. Which would, I mean, if you think about Jahlil Okafor on the Celtics, that's just nice right there.
And I think that's smart for the 76ers not to deal with them.
Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, this draft coming up isn't as nice as the draft last year. So, I don't see the reasoning why they would deal.
Which is surprising, because usually the 76ers do anything that they can to get even worse than they are. So, I mean, I think that I think the 76ers organization thinks it's like golf where the lower score wins.
That could be true.
So, I mean, it's got to be, because there's no other, either that or they have, like, I don't even know, running their organization. I don't have anything more to say about them.
What about Ish Smith? My man Ish Smith.
Yeah. Ish, yeah. Hey, Philadelphia fans, you want to build your organization
around Ish Smith.
Yeah. Can you guys seriously believe a bird flew down here during this podcast?
What the fuck? Was that an Oriole?
I don't know what that thing was, but it was down here, and then it somehow squeaked past the door, opened the door, and went back outside. That was
fucking chirping or something.
That was one strange thing. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
God.
It's like when you see baseball games and the birds fly on the fields.
Yeah.
And they, like, take over the game. Here we had a bird trying to take over the Stutter Brothers podcast.
You see Randy Johnson pelting a bird with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean,
these fucking birds think they could just do whatever the fuck they want, you know? I mean,
like a good old Seinfeld episode where the what was it, the crows or whatever, the stupid birds were in the middle of the road. Poor George Costanza was like, we had a deal, runs them all over, his girlfriend gets rid of them. Birds are ruining society.
All right, I think we're good to end it here.
I'm not trying to see you guys any longer than I have to, so.
All right.
I gotta take a shit.
This is the Stutter Brothers signing off. My name's Joe. Got K-Sauce, the boss here. Yeah. And I got Chris Schmidt. Look out for episode 3. We'll be doing that shortly. So
thanks for having me on, boys. Pleasure being here.
Wish I could say the same.
Yeah, me too.
Take a look at some of our posts on thestutterstep.wordpress.com and have a look out for our second podcast or third podcast. Thanks.
I said a hip hop, the hibbit of a hip hop, you don't stop. Rock it out, baby, rubber to the boogity bang bang, the boogie to the boogity beat. Now what you hear is not a test, I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. You see, I am Wonder Mike, and I'd like to say hello. Up to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow. But first, I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop, rock the rhythm that'll make your body rock. Well, so far you've heard my voice, but I brought 2 friends along.
And next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song.
Check it out. Well, I'm imp the dimp, the ladies pimp, the women fight for my delight. But I'm the grand master with the 3 MCs that shock the house for the young ladies. And when you come inside into the front, you do the freak spank or do the bump. And when the sucker MCs try to prove a point with Trent's trio, or when the serious joiner from sun to sun and from day to day, I sit down and write a brand new rhyme because they say that miracles never cease. I've created a devastating masterpiece. I'm gonna rock the mic so you can't resist. Everybody, I say it goes like this. While I was coming home late one dark afternoon, reporter stopped me for an interview. She said she's heard stories and she's heard fables that are vicious on the mic and the turntable. This young reporter I did adore, so I rocked the vicious rhyme like I never did before. She said, damn fly guy, I'm in love with you. And Casanova legend must have been true. I said, by the way, baby, what's your name? Said I go by the name Lois Lane, and you can be my boyfriend, you surely can. Just let me quit my boyfriend called Superman. I said, he's a fairy, I do suppose, flying through the air in pantyhose. He may be very sexy or even cute, but he looks like a sucker in a blue and red suit. I said, you need a man who's got finesse and his whole name across his chest. He may be able to fly all through the night, but can he rock a party till the early light? He can't satisfy you with his little worm, but I can bust you out with my super sperm. I go do it, I go do it, I go do it, do it, do it. And I'm here, and I'm there. I'm Big Bang Hank, I'm everywhere. I just throw your hands up in the air and party harder like you just don't care. Let's do it. I don't stop, y'all. I take a talk, y'all. You don't stop. I go hotel, motel. And what you gonna do today? Someone get a fly girl, gonna get some spank and drive off in a death OJ. Everybody go hotel, motel, holiday inn. You say if your girl starts acting up, then you take a friend. I say skip, dive, what can I say? I can't fit them all inside my OJ, so I just take half and bust them out. I give the rest to Master G so he can shock the house.
I said a M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man they call a Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world by all the foxy ladies and the pretty girls. I'm going down in history as the baddest rapper there ever could be. Now I'm feeling the highs and you're feeling the lows. The beat starts getting into your toe. You start popping your fingers and stomping your feet and moving your body while you're sitting and you're sitting. Then damn, you start doing the freak. I said bam, I ride it out of your seat. Then you throw your hands high in the air. You rock it to the rhythm, shake it dairy air. You rock it to the beat without a care. Cruise the short shot MCs for the affair. Now I'm not as tall as the rest of the gang, but I rap to the beat just the same. I got a little face and a pair of rhyme eyes. All I'm here to do, ladies, is hypnotize. Sing it on and on and on and on and on. The beat don't stop until the break of dawn. I sing it on and on and on and on and on like a hot butter. The pop, the pop, the pop, give it, pop, the pop, pop. You don't dare stop or come alive, y'all. Give me what you got. I guess by now you can take a hunch and find that I am the baby of the bunch, but that's okay. I still keep in stride, cause all I'm here to do is just a wiggle your behind. Sing it on and on and on and on. The beat don't stop until the break of dawn. I sing it on and on and on and on and on. Rock, rock, y'all. Throw it on the floor. I'm gonna freak you here, I'm gonna freak you there. I'm gonna move you out of this atmosphere, cause I'm one of a kind and I'll shock your mind. I put the jiggles in your behind. I say the 1, 2, 3, 4, come on, girls, get on the floor, come alive, yo, give me what you got, cause I'm guaranteed to make you rock. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, tell me one to Mike, what are you waiting for?
To the hip, hop, the hippie to the hippie, the hip, hip, the hopper, you don't stop, rock it to the bang, bang the boogie, say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity beat. Well, skittle bebop, we rock a Scooby-Doo, and guess what, America, we love you, cause you rock and a roll with us so much so, you can rock till you're 101 years old. I don't mean to brag, I don't mean to boast, but we're like hot butter on a breakfast toast. Rock it out, a baby bubba to the boogie, then bang bang the boogie to the beat. Beat is so unique. Come on, everybody, and dance to the beat. Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? I mean, the macaroni soggy, the peas all mushed, and the chicken tastes like wood. So you try to play it off like you think you can by saying that you're full, and then your friend says, "Mama, he just being polite. He ain't finished." Oh, that's bull. So your heart starts pumping and you think of a lie and you say that you already ate. And your friend says, "Man, there's plenty of food," so he piles some more on your plate. But while the sticky food's steaming, your mind starts to dreaming of the moment it's time to leave. And then you look at your plate and your chicken slowly rotting into something that looks like cheese. Oh, so you say, "That's it, I got to leave this place. I don't care what these people think." I'm just sitting here making myself nauseous with this ugly food that stinks. So you bust out the door while it's still closed, still sick from the food you ate. And then you run to the store for quick relief from a bottle of KO Pectate. And then you call your friend 2 weeks later to see how he has been. And he says, I understand about the food, babe, but we're still friends. With a hip hop, the hippie to the hip of the hip hip, a hopper, you don't stop the rocker to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat.